My name is Fred MacCarthy and I'm 12 years old, a young commercial farmer in Brits, Northwest. This is a green pepper field which is about the size of quarter of a hectare, which we have 5,000 green pepper seedlings here, which the amount of green pepper that is here can almost fit on half a hectare. So I'm also saving on my space when I'm here, and the net that is above me here, it helps me with the hail, because last year we learned a very good lesson that there is a Mother Nature that can destroy your vegetation. We lost 2 hectares of green beans, half a hectare of green pepper, 2 hectares of beetroot and 1 hectare of spinach. But I told my dad that we have to continue because this is what it is. It's beyond our control. We can't say, hey, wait, I want to harvest first. So that's how it is. So we continued and we thought, okay, we put a net, the hail won't destroy, it will be caught by the net, and then we fix the net after that too, so that it doesn't fall down. So now I'm planting again. Hopefully this time everything goes all right. And the irrigation I'm using here is drips, which I only use a borehole to pump the water into the drips. So the drips, it saves me on the irrigation, on water especially, and also on it doesn't waste water. It doesn't water places that the plant is not there. Where the drip is where the plant is. So each plant will be getting the same amount of water. Unlike the sprinklers, it will be watering here where the plants are not there. So this is more cheaper and saves on a lot of electricity and water.
Okay, go tell us everything we need to know about growing broiler chickens.
Firstly, I want to tell you that broilers, they are very easy to grow. You just need to know what you need to do. You start by preparing the place where they will be staying. You put sawdust, that's what's on the floor here, and then you make sure they have food and water, and then you can place your chicks. And then you need to also make sure you have this heater. This is a coal heater. We decided to use a coal heater because with load shedding in South Africa, we cannot use the electrical lamps, because when it's cold at night, then the chicks and the chickens won't have heat for them to warm up, so they'll end up dying. This coal stove, because it doesn't need electricity, you use coal or firewood, you put it in here and then you light it up, and then you close here with the chimney going outside the structure, because the chickens can inhale that and they can end up dying. So this is more reliable, especially with the load shedding, and if you don't have the money to be paying the electrical bills, because the amount of electricity used the whole night for this is going to be to the roof. So the coal heater, we put coal inside here and we switch it on, and then once you switch it on, it will run the whole night. Then the chickens, they will surround it. If they are hot, then they will spread to their side. So we also use a coal heater, and then at 13 days we give them stress pack. At 14 days we give them Newcastle, and then at 18 days we give them stress pack again, and 19 days we give them Gomboro, which is, all of these are the medications that they need for them to grow up nicely. At 18 days they also start eating grower. From day 1 up until day 19, they'll be eating starter. Then from there they eat grower, which will grow them up. And then from there we give, at 32 days, we give them finisher, which is a bit bigger pellets than the grower and the starter. These chickens that are here is 500, and we gave them medication. Today we gave them Gomboro because they are 19 days today.
Mr. McCarthy Jr., what's happening in this building?
This is a chicken abattoir, strictly only chickens or poultry, but we can only do chickens and ducks, anything to do with poultry, but we cannot slaughter chicken and ducks at the same time. But and then this abattoir can only slaughter 300 chickens a day, but we are planning to expand it to slaughter 3,000 chickens a day.
What's the process of slaughtering chickens?
We dip them for few seconds in the water, and when we are slaughtering, we can only slaughter when there's a meat inspector, or else we cannot sell the chicken, or we are doing it illegal.
Please tell us about that incident of the storm that pushed you to put what you have in place here. What did that teach you about farming and life in general?
That incident about the hail, it taught me to never give up and keep on trying. And also farming has also taught me to be patient and receive risk, do risk and take chances, because now I took a chance again planting green pepper, but this time I used the net, so I don't know what the disadvantages and the advantages of the net. So I'm hoping this time I do harvest a lot of green pepper and with good quality. And the other thing that farming has taught me is to stay vigilant, because I have to watch out for the rain, the pests, and to check the plants all the time. I don't have the time to be playing, watching TV, because there's a lot to do here on the farm. Most of my time I'm here in the green pepper, or either I'm playing with my siblings, or maybe I'm playing with the big toys, preparing the land.
Tell me about these big toys. Which big toys do you play with here in the farm, or do you work with? And which ones are you going to show us a bit later?
The big toys that I use is a tractor. It's a case, and it's a strong tractor which I use to prepare this land and to prepare other lands where I planted my lucerne. And the big toys is a big toy. It's not a small toy that you push around. This one needs you to be there physically to be operating it. And I myself enjoy using the big toys because it's easy. You just need to know the basics of driving the tractor. I myself can fly a plane, drive the tractor, a truck, and a car.
No ways, I don't believe you. How old are you?
12.
And you can drive and fly?
Yes.
No, you need to show me. Do you have photos of you flying?
Yes.
How did that idea of flying come about?
The idea of flying came about when I started driving the truck and the car and the tractor, and I said, now I know how to drive 1, 2, 3, but now it's only an aeroplane. So he said that, no, don't worry, I'll look for a place for you to fly. 2 weeks down the line, he's like, my boy, we're going to fly. I'm like, what? Then We went for a flight. It was nice. I enjoyed. Even my instructor was shocked that he was even worried that no, he has been flying somewhere before. And I myself, because when I went to Nampo, which is a festival for farmers in the southern hemisphere, I flew to Nampo because there's a runway there and farmers fly with aeroplanes there. So I'm a farmer and I also want to fly with the aeroplane to Nampo. So I flew with the aeroplane and it was nice. We saw other farmers plowing their lands as we flew to Nampo, a big dam, and it was nice, lovely to see Nampo from the sky. So I flew and it felt much quicker to fly to Nampo, unlike driving, which is 4 hours. We took 1.5 hours.
Tell us about working with other children, because I hear you doing a couple of projects and you are helping other children. What are you doing in that front?
I went to Motlaki Primary School. We launched it this year. In April, we planted spinach and they enjoyed the spinach. I taught them everything to prepare the soil, the fertilizers that they have to put, the chemicals that they have to spray. So now if we are to go there, you can ask them can you do this, can you do that? I did teach them, and I'm sure a lot of children are happy that they are getting food from the school. I do dream of becoming a big farmer with a lot of money and tractors and teaching the young farmers how to farm, because farming is what will keep South Africa, the world going, because you and I and my brother and my sister and everyone, we cannot go a day without food. But now I want to feed the millions of children that go to bed without food. Just imagining yourself going to bed without food is a lot. So now when it's millions, it's extra stress. So with me, I want to teach those people about farming, that you can farm and generate food for yourself, because South Africa has got a lot of land, a lot of unemployed people, and a lot of children that go to bed without food. So if the land is used and the unemployment rate is also used in the land, then the millions of children are full.
Here we are growing broiler chickens, which the broiler chickens are for eating.
How many do you have?
Here there are 500 chickens here.
How old are these chickens? When can we expect to come by?
You can come and 21 a day old chickens, and you can come and buy them at 42 days old.
Okay. What do you feed them? What are they eating here?
Here they are eating grower.
Mm-hmm. What is this? Is this water? What is this?
It's water.
Oh, okay. You have 500 this side. How many do you have on that side?
We have that side, it's 700.
How much is a chicken? When I want to come and buy after 42 days, how much is it? How much do I have to pay?
Roughly it's 70 rand.
Oh, roughly 70 rand.
You don't remove something and don't and replace it with something else. So we replaced it when he's at home, because now it's school holidays. We needed to create other things that will keep him busy than the TV in school. So those were the things that we created. We introduced the outdoor I mean, there are a lot of indigenous games that we had to come up with, and I had to remember things from my village. And Fred also challenged me to say, what did you used to play as a child? So those were the things we had to ask each other, and then we taught them. So some of those indigenous games, they actually don't even need money that you must go and buy. So those were the things, and of course the space allowed us to be able to introduce those indigenous games. And also our time, we had to also put in our time to say now we are playing with them, or now we are going to the village with them. And those are the things you can't then be absent or expect someone else to introduce those things. So there were a lot of changes, and of course that character of your Spider-Man and things did not have space now, because he was fairly young, so he was able to even probably forget about that and continue learning what we are teaching him.
What are some of those spiritual, religious things that you have instilled inside the home that is beginning to show in what your kids are doing?
Look, we have always emphasized on respect for humanity, no matter what your status is in community. In other words, when God has blessed you, it's not for you only. It needs to be passed on to others. That's what we've taught these kids. When they were growing up, every year of my birthday, I would take 65 kids or more from Carson to Wombat, and we give them school shoes, we give them school uniforms and school bags every of my birthday. Before Corona came, they watch us doing that. We take them to children's home where gifts are purchased by us. They need to go hand over, and they must go give them food. It's to show them that the fact that God has given you in abundance doesn't mean it's for you. You need to pass it on to others. There are people that are less privileged. So that's what we've taught them. And I've seen Junior love for teaching other kids how to farm and the things he wants to teach others. I've seen that coming up, which is a good thing, because that's what humanity is all about. When what you know is not meant for you, and it's not meant for your family only, it must go beyond you. God created you to come bring a solution in life. So I think that's one of the things that we've taught them. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. They recite it every day in the house to say that. Also the Ecclesiastes. We've read Ecclesiastes in the book of Proverbs many times, over and over, where we're showing them the wisdom that Solomon has written in the book of Ecclesiastes.